RS credit you / veganism 211H. What actor or actress gives you sinister vibes and why? Share 13K70113K comments sorted by just leave the comment. Glittering inside 11H Tom Cruise. Because Scientology. 14K reply. Untrollable 11H Elizabeth Moss as well. 343 reply. Jim Ivana 10H. Although I think it's shady that she's a Scientologist, I think it's more understandable than Tom Cruise. Moss' parents are Scientologist, she was raised in it. Cruise just became a member on his own. 226 reply. PLNKERTON7HY. Yes, I am special, thank you for noticing. Tell me more about this Scientology business. 70 reply. Apple 22/75H. Ramini was the same and was brought up in dollar Scientology. Thankfully she got out and now fights against the organization and is exposing all their dirty secrets, of which there are many. 59 reply. Me 816H and he's best mates with the leader. 10 reply. 2 more replies. _Norman_Bates 10H. She also looks psychotic to me. 99 reply. From 1430 to 9H. I cannot fathom her, for some reason. 48 reply. Rafaela Soldier 7H. Right. Being in The Handmaid's Tale, you'd imagine she'd start to see the similarities in the harmful and just plain strange rhetoric between the two. 95 reply. 2 more replies, 1 more reply, 5 more replies. Derby_Barbarian AH Center 2. 118 reply. 1 more reply. Depupler 10H. He also has the most demented, psycho-happy face, sheer lunacy. Like he is desperately holding in the impulse to go on a murder spree. 113 reply. By Priestess 425H. Funny you say that. Christian Bale based his portrayal of Patrick Bateman in American Psycho off Tom Cruise. Mentioned something about intense friendliness with nothing behind the eyes. 64 reply. 2 more replies, 1 more reply. Ellie22810H. That time he jumped on Oprah's couch was just weird. 50 reply. 4 more replies, 19 more replies. Elk1110H. I think that everybody is a little suspicious about Nicolas Cage. We're still waiting your move, Nick. Still waiting. 507 reply. Reading Sheedy8H. I swear he's a vampire. 75 reply. Amigo del Double8H. That's hype race. 62 reply. 6 more replies. Krasai Moon 4H. At one point, Cage owned 15 residences across the world, including homes in California and Las Vegas and a deserted island in the Bahamas. He also bought a series of more bizarre items, including a 9-foot-tall burial tomb, an octopus, shrunken pygmy heads, a $150,000 Superman comic, and a 70-million-year-old dinosaur skull, which he later had to return to the Mongolian government. 18 reply. 4 more replies. Heiger 779H. Gwyneth Paltrow goop, vagina scented candles, etc. Edit. Didn't add the Y. 563 reply. Status complaint 7H. Yeah, the goop shit is insane. That Jontron video showing the goop business was insane. 104 reply. D34THBYSNOOSNO06H. I think it is just lack of creativity and her knowing she can just slap her name on anything and make a brand of it. Boredom too, probably, since she may not be getting as much work as she used to. Spiritual beliefs aside, just her as a person is very out of touch with reality. 58 reply. 1 more reply, 6 more replies. Serious, young Redditors, how do you plan on not being like boomers when you're old? Serious replies only. Share 358202 comments sorted by best leave the comment. Auto moderator 5H. Attention. Serious, tag notice. Jokes, puns, and off-topic comments are not permitted in any comment, parent or child. Parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed, along with their child replies. Report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour, and posts that are not appropriate for the serious tag will be removed. Consider doing an AM request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit if you have any questions or concerns. Vote reply. BGOPI15H. When I was younger, I always found it confusing why adults couldn't use or understand the latest technology. I aim to stay current with technological trends and not settle into a mentality that hates change. 460 reply. Forgettable I surname 3H as an older millennial, I always tried to do that too. The complication is that technology often changes in ways that you don't think are ideal. In the early 2000s, I was hoping that file sharing would make copyrighted music obsolete. I hoped that the internet would make it easier to find accurate information on whatever people were interested in. That it would be a tool to unite people from different places and countries with a common understanding of the universe. What we've seen is that music companies adapted to the web. Social media has fractured our society into myriad groups of conspiracy theorists, that it has done more to increase the spread of misinformation than actual information. I also assume that we'd be able to keep the freedoms that early technologies allowed us. If you had a VCR in the 80s or 90s, you could record whatever you wanted off of broadcast television. You could keep it for as long as you wanted, watch it whenever you wanted, and if you had two VCRs, you could even copy it and send the copy to a friend. The only caveat was that you couldn't make money from distributing copies. That's all gone away. Now you can't save what you watch, you definitely can't distribute it, you're completely isolated from being able to process the signal as you please. At the same time, computers have become more and more centrally controlled. Updates occur automatically. Software has become a subscription service, whereas it used to be something you bought once and owned in perpetuity. I mean, I still try to stay current. I'm an engineer professionally, so it's part of my job to stay current. But it's harder to have the same enthusiasm that I did when I was younger, when I see so many things going in ways that I perceive to be wrong. To my way of thinking, the promise of the internet was to give power to the people, and what's actually happened is that corporations and governments have hijacked that potential and used it for their own ends, some of which are nefarious. So it's difficult, it's complicated. I don't hate change overall, but I hate some of the changes that I've seen in my lifetime. 193 reply. The GOPI13H I completely understand, and wow. Thanks for the insightful comment. 28 reply. Forgettable I surname to H, glad to be of service. I don't know if adults from previous generations before mine felt the exact same way I do, but I think some of it might be the same. When things you used to be able to do change and shift underneath you and become things you can't do anymore, it's very deeply frustrating. Technology is wonderful in some ways, but it is also remorseless. It doesn't care if people who invested heavily in the previous version of the technology get left behind. I've seen this professionally too. I work in a slightly unusual manufacturing environment. Everything we do is in large sweeps. This is easy to answer. Different cultural beliefs, maintain cultural know-how, etc. However, it's also very hard to avoid, as what it really entails is, between the age of 25-55, don't develop any habits, because whatever habit you have at 60 plus, odds are you're not going to be too interested in learning a new tech habit, mostly inhabited by the young, that already does what you already know how to do, only slightly more convenient. VCRs and DVDs players, for example. While some boomers are streaming things, etc., if it involves setting up themselves, a DVD player is as far as they'll go. We'll be doing that only with devices or apps or updates to various things rather than big pieces of hardware. TL Doctor, once you start enjoying a particular item, app or development, it can eventually turn into the thing you won't let go of. And by then, you won't care if people 40 years younger than you don't like it. 7 reply. Wemner 24375H not be racist. 62 reply. 2 more replies. Call Walter _ it's 4H, no one plans to be worse as they age. We're all just a product of our time and get set in our ways as we age. 7 reply. Hospital 3H, I think we will all one day be the old boomers of our time, maybe more progressive than the current boomers, but our current progressiveness will likely seem like some horrible conservativeness to our future generations since morality and traditions change. 7 reply. Artist escapism 3H, I want to live a life where I love people more than I love any kind of institution or what I want to try to hang on to. The best boomers I've met have been ex-hippies, or at least understood that loving everyone is the solution, more than perhaps hanging on to my ideas of right and wrong. 6 reply. Nidgard 5H, well, for starters, I plan on not living at Nellis Air Force Base. 24 reply. Ketchup 24 4H ring a ding ding, baby. 3 reply. Rock named Carl 4H ain't that a kick in the head. 2 reply. Lil Cuddles 4H I don't get it, what's so bad about it? 4 reply. Bigger 3H nothing really. Surrounded by fences, plus you have plenty of mortars to keep the raiders away. 6 reply. 1 more reply. Yin Yang 1074H look at this putz not getting the New Vegas reference. Hey everyone, let's laugh at this guy. 3 reply. Lick Lick Taco 2H we will be significantly poorer than the current crop of retirees. 6 reply. JFGAM4H keeping an open mind and not living in a cable news bubble for 12 hours a day. 9 reply. From Lucille Lupin 3H and assume you mean the meaner and more privileged doomers who are super entitled. I've met a few nice doomers. I like hearing their advice on things and their mindset, but a majority of these nice doomers went through some hard times and didn't use it as an excuse to tell millennials to stop complaining. The only thing I can do is be compassionate to both the young and the old. My generation is already being slandered anyway. I'm not afraid of any more criticisms when I'm older. There are gonna be some bad eggs in every generation and I accept that. 4 reply. Nelephant 2H as an older person over 60, I find it interesting that so many people seem to think older people can't learn, change, or keep an open mind. You are associating with the wrong older people. 4 reply. Galusadi 4H I wouldn't have a problem being like my boomer grandmother when I'm old. 8 reply. Beckameth 187 4H I am gonna try my best to be accepting of non-conforming genders and sexualities. 7 reply. KPSUCKSATREDDID 4H I feel like the perception of the annoying ways old people act will change so drastically due to how fast society is moving that we can't do anything to not be like this. What we see as friendly/accepting could be the exact opposite in the future. 6 reply. Hashit 4HIDK the concept of not beating your wife sounds like a universal moral con.